The Green Bay Packers, they get the big win yesterday against the Dallas Cowboys. Could be a turning point for the Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
Right? I say that just because offense looked as good as it's looked all year, right? Ran the ball and had some explosive pass plays in the pass game, which we haven't seen. Again, Aaron Rodgers, what was it, 14 completions for 220-something yards? Look how much more dangerous they were as a football team. That's what really jumped out to me, and maybe they can get onto something here.
What I'd like to know, Chris, with the game Sunday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Because Aaron Rodgers for the past month and a half hasn't been practicing on Wednesday.
Right.
That thumb needs time to recover. I wonder if they deliberately went into this game, we're not going to throw it as much. We need to have that thumb recover by Thursday. That's the next question for them. Will he be ready to go Thursday night? How close to 100% will he be? But they ran the ball more percentage-wise than they ever have during Aaron Rodgers' time as a starter. And their play-action percentage on passes was the highest since 2020.
It seemed like it, right.
That was, I think, an Elias Sports – no, it was an ESPN Stats and Information stat from last night. So, hey, what a shocker. You establish the run – Aaron Jones, 148 yards, and it makes it easier to pass. And they use play action. And Christian Watson, 3 touchdowns. That's the difference. Look, all this I like this because it reinforces my point. He should have been there for the offseason program.
Yeah.
He should have gotten his guys together
Right.
wherever he has his mansion or mansions in the offseason and gotten these guys comfortable, because now they're getting comfortable in November. They should have been comfortable in September. They're getting comfortable in November.
I don't disagree with you there. I totally don't. And hey, we might be onto something with Green Bay. We'll see. Again, that was a special running, performance, certainly. I think the one thing it might do is a little bit crack the code on Dallas a little bit. Dallas, we've talked about this on the show. They're not big up front. They're about speed and chaos. And Green Bay, even though I don't think it's like this dominant offensive line, they're very well coached. It's a good offensive line. They're well coached. They understand how to block all the different looks, and they don't mess things up. I think that's the positive thing about them. But then the thing that puts it over the edge is the aggressive passing too. Dallas, because of that run game, to your point, Mike, right? They had to load the box. They played some man-to-man, and that left people one-on-one with Christian Watson, who's, I think, going to be a star in football. I mean, he was my second favorite quarterback coming out in the draft. And actually, we got a comment here from Twitter, @TheRealDonald. I hope it's not Donald Trump. All right, so, but at the
You
real
said it,
Donald.
not me.
Okay, but I don't know. I don't picture him.
He's banned. He's banned.
I don't picture.
He's
you're
banned
right.
from
He's
Joe's
banned.
Fruit
You're
Stand,
right. I
so
don't
it can't
picture
be
him
him.
listening to my podcast anyways. But he said somewhere at C Simms QB is smiling about Christian Watson. Yes, I was smiling yesterday. I think he's going to be a star. All right, here's a little pop quiz off of that.
I know the answer.
You do?
Do you want to take the quiz?
You've
Do you know
seen
the
it?
answer?
Okay,
no.
no.
I saw it yesterday.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. So hold on. Let me ask here. So Watson is the second rookie ever with 3 TD catches in a game versus the Cowboys. All right, are we talking a long time ago, or is it like somewhere recent? Like, can I have a clue there or no?
The clue is that I would definitely know the answer.
All right, so it's a Vikings. It's Randy Moss on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
I retweeted this yesterday
Okay.
with a Moss on Thanksgiving 1998
Gotcha.
gif, so.
I'm not like, I haven't caught up on social media. Like, today is the day where I'll finally be like, wait,
It's
what
good.
was going
It's good.
on
There's
yesterday?
some people in Miami that want to talk to you, so it's
I'm
good
sure.
that you're staying away from
right,
it.
I'm sure. All right, so either way, let's talk about this a little bit more. Anything change your mind about the Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers in this football game? Do you think Green Bay can legitimately be a force here?
Yes, they can. They can. Now, they've got this game, short week against the Titans on Thursday night, and I am wondering how healthy Aaron Rodgers will be. And then they've got a little extra time to get ready for a trip to Philadelphia, which could be one hell of a game. And then they've got the Bears and then their bye week. So I think they could pull themselves back into contention. And, hey, we have assumed Cowboys-Giants to the wild card spots and an all-out scrum for the last one. Well, now the Packers hold the tiebreaker if it comes down to them and the Cowboys for one of those spots. Not that the Cowboys are going to implode, but it's funny. Last week, the narrative is, hey, Mike McCarthy's perfectly comfortable. There's no more talk about him getting fired after this season. No Sean Payton talk. Well, games like yesterday, if they continue, and if that's your last game of the season, like if this had been playoff loss with this performance by McCarthy,
Well, I mean, that's one of the funny things about the game.
It could be Sean
it's like
Payton time.
Mike McCarthy going back to Green Bay and kind of mismanaging a situation at the end of the football game was kind of ironic. It really was. Now, I don't know. What was your thoughts on the 4th and 3 in overtime? I don't think it was egregious. He was in a tough spot.
Going into the wind, it would have been a 50-yard field goal,
right.
and it doesn't end the
probably,
game. Yeah,
right.
It doesn't end the game.
Right.
And
you miss it, you give them the ball.
I didn't like the play.
Yeah.
The play didn't the Vikings had a play. They went for a 4th down play, and they didn't even show a run look, and it was just kind of like, what are you doing? It just sometimes these 4th down plays, and this gets back to the whole analytics thing. The analytics say you should go for it. Okay, fine. But what's my play going to be?
Yeah, I got you.
And it didn't look like a great play. And McCarthy slammed down the headset. And, the emotion obviously was very real for him yesterday. And I don't know if it crept into his head a little bit. But I don't have a problem with going for it in that spot. My problem is the play. I think I don't like shotgun on 4th or 3rd and less than 5. Shotgun gives away that you're going to throw it. And if you're going to run it, you got your tailback starting flat-footed, which is kind of the equivalent of having a hand behind your back.
Horizontal instead of vertical to start the run. I hear you. There's valid points to that. There definitely is. Green Bay, hey, that was a solid start. I got to see another game to believe it, I guess is what I'm saying, to see if they could actually make explosive plays in the pass game, run the ball like that to get man-to-man. Cowboys, hey, one of my things I've talked about with the Cowboys is maybe a hair too aggressive on the defensive side of the ball at times and then leaving one-on-one opportunities. I don't understand why Trayvon Diggs was never thrown on to Christian Watson yesterday in coverage. That was something that bothered me. And then I think the other thing, too, that we got to take into account here, even though the Cowboys had a 28-14 lead and were controlling the game, even at 28-14, the Cowboys left points on the board with Dak Prescott, bad interception in the red area after they got the strip sack fumble from Aaron Rodgers down there backed up, right? Remember that? DeMarcus Lawrence strip sacked him. He throws a bad INT. That leaves points on the board. They're at least going to get a field goal. And then throws another bad interception. What was that? That was late second quarter. He throws the ball down the middle, and Paris Ford, I don't know if CeeDee Lamb was supposed to go underneath him. He goes over the top of him. Bad interception nonetheless leads to a touchdown for the Green Bay Packers. So there were some self-inflicted wounds there. Dallas, again, I like the balance of their football team, but that's one where they might have to reevaluate how they play Green Bay the next time they go up there or see them in the playoffs when they're at home.
And, Chris, one other fact that contributes to the Mike McCarthy suddenly isn't as safe as he was a week ago. First time in the history of the franchise,
they blew a
14-point lead going into
which is pretty amazing.
Quarter.
Amazing, really. You think about the Dallas Cowboys as long as they've been around.
This isn't exactly a team that barely ever has a 14-point lead going into the 4th quarter. 195-0 they had been. Thank you, Pete. 195-1 now.
Yep. All right. Green Bay.
That's the kind of shit that gets Jerry a little antsy. He's going to roll out of bed and be all gravelly voiced one of these days, and he's going to say, "Get me Sean Payton."
Yeah. You're exactly
Payton.
right. You're exactly right. And here's some interesting things too. Here, I mean, CeeDee Lamb played great. We talk about Prescott's interceptions. Michael Parsons 0 QB pressures on just 8 pass rushes. This is why he's amazing. First off, that he's in the conversation for sack leader in the NFL. He doesn't get the attempts, but I think this is what the running for Green Bay did. Now, because they're running the ball, they use Michael Parsons more as the stand-up linebacker and get a bigger defensive end in there, and now it doesn't give him the opportunity to come off the edge and play that game as much. And that was a huge part of the football game. The fact that they could still run the ball down 28-14 and not let Dallas get into some of their crazy coverages and we're going to blitz and all the crazy stuff we do, that to me was the difference in the game. And we'll see if Green Bay can keep that running attack up, because if they can, they'll get one-on-one, and then I think Rodgers will have some confidence in this kid who's got 3 rockets up his ass.
And you mentioned cracking the code. The Vikings with Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison.
That's where it's exactly right. They're gonna have to adjust how they're gonna how are we gonna play run defense and still stop Justin Jefferson and Thielen in the back end without just going, we're going to play bump man-to-man in your face.
Yeah.
It's just not possible, right? I mean, I think we're at the point now where, the receivers, the offenses, they're too good just to think, wait, my top-tier corner is going to cover this guy all over the field everywhere he goes. And that's where you got to have, you hear me during the game sometimes, like, you got to have somebody to help on the crosser. There's got to be another guy where, okay, like Christian Watson on his last 2 touchdown passes, he runs across the field. It's man-to-man coverage. He runs 4-2, everybody. What corner do we think is going to chase him 50 yards across the field and be able to win that matchup all the time?
And that's the closest thing you're going to get to running in a straight line 40 yards.
Exactly
to show
right.
that speed. If you get that long diagonal, you just go.
Exactly. And as soon as you get the release, and the smart defenses, the Tennessee Titans, the New England Patriots, they always have somebody there to protect that corner because they know he's vulnerable to that. And that was a little surprising to me altogether. Thanks for watching, homies. Hit subscribe to see all my unbuttoned videos. You get to see me, Ahmed Fareed, all the big player breakdowns, game breakdowns, player interviews, and my film analysis. So please subscribe. Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Peace out.